Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Today, me and my group member will be discussing about the ethical issue related to the situation happened in India during the COVID-19 pandemic. Before proceeding into more details, let me introduce you to the opponents involved in the discussion. My name is Ahmed Ali and the opponents are Kayun, Iwin, Devin, Shamne and Yoshi. The situation in India during the COVID-19 pandemic involved several ethical issues. The India government declared victory against the virus in order to win support for the 2021 election. This bets uncentrally about the real situation. Citizens and religious groups pushed for the easing of lockdown rules to allow them to return to work and hold festivals which could have contributed due to the spread of the virus. Indian vaccine manufacturers agreed to export vaccines under diplomatic and business agreements, but later faced a second wave of COVID-19 that kills thousands of people in a single day. The Indian government then banned the local vaccines manufacturers from exporting vaccines overseas, which triggered actions from the countries. This situation raises ethical dilemmas about balancing public health concerns with economic and religious needs, fulfilling the diplomatic and contractual obligations, and promoting international corruptions in the fight against COVID-19. Starting with Shamne, what is your opinion about the first issue?
Based on the situation provided by the moderator, the decision made by the government of India to declare India win against COVID-19, although there was uncertainty of the real situation. I do not agree with the decision made by the Indian government to declare wins against COVID-19 despite the uncertainty of the actual situation. For the reason is that it was a misleading information. Declaring victory without substantial evidence could mislead the public, leading to complacency and false sense of security. This might have led to safety measures, potentially causing a reassurance of cases.
Yeah, I see your opinion, but I do have disagree because India became a global leader in the vaccine production and launched the massive vaccination campaign. Current million of doses with significantly reduced the spread of the virus to protect a large portion of the population. So, based on the economic considering, behind such a declaration, a preparation of the control of the situation could encourage economic activity investment, which are important for recovery.
I still don't agree because if people don't know what's really going on, calling it a victory can confuse them and make it harder for them to make the right choices about their health and safety.
Moving on to the next point, what is your opinion?
The Indian citizen decision and religion group to push for ease of the rule of the lockdown to allow them to return to work and hold festival to honor their religion. For me, I think that I disagree with the issue because it becomes an ethical dilemma for them to choose between individual rights and public health. So I think that becomes if people have a legal right to fanatic their religion. So as we know that during the pandemic, it is important to balance the right to hold religious festival with the responsibility to protect the public health. So government should prevent and give the priority to protect the public health. So how about you?
I strongly agree with your statement because if government want to encourage the public back to work, I think that government can do it work from home because if back to the workplace, it is giving chance to separate the virus among the public, and hold on the festival is also one of the way to prevent the virus to separate.
Yes, I agree also with your opinion. It's about work from the home, but hold on the festival. It's just because from the case in Malaysia that happened, the mosquito became the coronavirus hotspot before that, as it suddenly increased with linked to the large Islamic gathering attended by the 60,000 in the Kuala Lumpur. So that for the government should make the ethical decision by considering the impact on others, because return to the work is important to the current economy. But rushing to reopen without taking the precaution can lead to the increase the COVID-19 case. So the government needs to make with the decision and protect the financial assistance to those affected.
Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Because even though economy is important, but citizen health is also important, and that's the most important chapter for citizens. So I think that your opinion sounds good.
Yes.
Following issue, what is your opinion?
I disagree with the decision by Government of India to ban export of vaccines to other countries when there is shortage of vaccines for local usage. This is because I think that such actions might strain diplomatic relations and cooperations between nations, affecting future collaborations and international goodwill during a time when global solidarity is crucial.
Okay, actually I disagree with your point, because the Indian government should give priority to the citizen. Due to the lack of vaccination available locally, the government choose to put the needs of its people first, is in the line with the obligation of safeguard and population and provide enough of any vaccine nationally.
In that case, I can partially agree with you. I understand the need to prioritize our local vaccine supply, but perhaps considering a limited or controlled export to other countries could still align with our domestic needs while fulfilling our global responsibilities, because sharing is caring.
Okay, I agree with this statement. Control and limit vaccine to supply.
Moving on to the next point, what is your opinion?
I strongly disagree with the vaccine manufacturers' decision to breach their contract. Contracts are legally binding agreements, and breaching them sets a dangerous precedent. It undermines the trust between parties that could have severe consequences for future agreements. It's unfair to the other party that relied on those commitments.
I understand your concern, but in this scenario, the government's instruction might hold more significant weight. If there are unforeseen circumstances or a pressing need for public health, sometimes adjustments need to be made. Governments have the responsibility to ensure the well-being for their citizens. And if redirecting the vaccines is a critical part for that, the manufacturers might have little choice.
But doesn't this erode the foundation of contractual agreements? What's the point of having contracts if they can be disregarded based on government instructions?
That's a valid point. However, sometimes urgency dictates actions. This situation might serve a lesson for governments and business to establish clearer contingency clauses in contracts for such extraordinary circumstances to balance legal obligations and society needs without compromising trust.
Following issue, what is your opinion?
I was strongly disagree with the station that during the pandemic time, Indian government has agreed to export the vaccine to other countries. I think that Indian government should put priority to local citizens to make sure every citizen that can get fully vaccination.
Okay, I agree with your point. And I agree with the decision made by other countries to ban the export of raw materials to produce vaccine to India. Limiting the export of raw materials to India might make the world vaccine shortage harder.
Yeah, during that time, during pandemic time, every country is facing the problem that lack of vaccine, lack of raw material. So I think that Indian government should focus on their local citizens. Then after settle down all the things between the country, then only we can give the help to other country. So I strongly agree with your point that we should put priority to local citizens.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for your opinion. I would like to conclude this ethical issues discussion by saying that the situations involving Indians' COVID-19 management decision vaccine exports and the action vaccine manufacturer raised several moral dilemmas and challenges. Addressing these issues required a balanced approach that considers the need of all stakeholders, transparency, and international corruptions.